Nadszedł czas zmiany, przejścia do prawdziwego działania wszechświata. I nadszedł czas, aby zrozumieć, że używamy stanu materii, by osiągnąć poziom zrozumienia duszy człowieka. Teraz rozumiesz, być może, dlaczego Kreator wysłał swoich posłańców w imię tego, co miałeś. To oni przynoszą uszy, aby można było ich użyć, gdy nadejdzie czas Mesjasza. Mogę nauczyć duszę i przesłanie, nie by się przeciwstawiać, ale poprzez ich zrozumienie przez tych, którzy stali się Mesjaszami, aby dawać ze swoich dusz, aby ich elewować. Zadanie stało się łatwe. Szkoła jest tutaj i uczniowie są tutaj w oddaniu. Wtedy nie będzie żadnej walki między tym, co nazywają muzułmanami, a chrześcijanami. Baranek i lew będą jeść i spać w tym samym gnieździe. Chrześcijanie i muzułmanie będą spać i modlić się w meczecie, w tym samym kościele, w imię ich dusz, nie w imię religii, które są używane do tworzenia tak wielu konfliktów, dla korzyści tych, którzy byli hiperaktywnymi dziećmi. Nadszedł czas, czas zmian jest tutaj. I jak powiedziałem, moje życzenie jest moim rozkazem. Jeśli pragniesz ujrzeć pokój, droga pokoju jest wyłożona bardzo wyraźnie. To dusza świadomości zbiorowej. Poprzez dawanie stworzy tą pozycję zmiany. Nic innego. W duszy człowieka nie ma długopisu. Jestem pewien, że po wejściu do społeczności uniwersalnej nigdy nie zobaczysz niczego zapisanego, ale równowagę pól duszy egzystencji. Staraj się być na tyle pokornym, aby nie stać się aroganckim w mocy, którą zrozumiałeś i posiadłeś. Inaczej wpadniesz w tą samą ścieżkę kościoła i meczetu. To jest to, co obiecaliśmy i to właśnie dostarczyliśmy. Musimy zrozumieć działanie duszy. I musimy zrozumieć, że dusza człowieka jest gwiazdą w kosmosie wszechświata. Jeśli porównamy duszę człowieka i tak wielu nas, 7 miliardów w jednym zbiorze, Ziemia jest jak galaktyka z tak wieloma gwiazdami. Kiedy patrzymy w głąb wszechświata, widzimy galaktyki z setkami milionów gwiazd. Podobnie jest z planetą Ziemią. Niesie 7 miliardów pięknych gwiazd, które są duszą człowieka. Niesie z sobą duszę tak wielu trylionów zwierząt, roślin i wszystkiego innego. Jeśli więc patrzą ci, którzy nie widzą fizyczności Ziemi i jej zawartości, co widzą? Widzą galaktykę z wielką ilością pięknych, świecących świateł. Każda według swojej siły. Każda zgodnie ze swoją pozycją. Niemowlę ma piękną duszę, podobnie jak staruszek. Dla tych niefizycznych, którzy nie widzą fizycznego wymiaru tej planety, ale widzą siłę pola, jesteśmy gromadami gwiazd. Ludzka rasa, każda pojedyncza dusza, nikt z daleka nie widzi. To jest dusza rybaka, to jest dusza kosmologa, to jest dusza prezydenta. Wszystkie świecą bez względu na fizyczność. To jest magia. Oto co nowa nauka musi przynieść człowiekowi. Kiedy patrzymy przez naszą duszę, widzimy tylko gwiazdy w innych duszach. I to jest przełom, to jest zrozumienie. Na tym właśnie polegają te wszystkie nauki. Dojście do dojrzałości następnego poziomu, aby zrozumieć daleki kosmos. Wszechświat jest ostrygą dla tych dusz, które służą. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy do wejścia w kosmos. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy, aby stać się częścią uniwersalnej społeczności, która została obiecana. Nigdy nie obiecywałem wam nieba. Zawsze obiecywałem wam elewację człowieka, aby przyłączył się do rodziny. A teraz macie klucz. To wy musicie otworzyć drzwi, aby zrozumieć, że mogę elewować duszę tych ludzi lub milionów innych dusz, że fizyczne życie na tej planecie zmieni się. Wtedy jestem godny bycia częścią społeczności uniwersalnej, by być, aby służyć, aby się rozwijać, by być tam, aby być częścią, że w cyklu życia wszechświata staje się w byciu częścią, staje się częścią totalności. Kiedy człowiek osiągnie ten punkt, pojawi się nowy wymiar w sile duszy człowieka, który jest poza wyobrażeniem zrozumienia życia fizycznego. To jest brama do otwarcia nowego życia w nowym wymiarze, co jest poza wyobrażeniem tego, co mogliście nazwać nowym początkiem, nowym cyklem, gdzie ten cykl niesie ze sobą źródło stworzenia życia we wszechświecie i unikosie. To jest elewacja duszy, aby służyć. Stała się kluczem. Nie tron życia fizycznego. Czas jest odpowiedni, nadszedł czas, aby człowiek przeszedł przez ten proces. Witamy wszystkich na 277 warsztatach poszukiwaczy wiedzy w języku polskim. Dzisiaj mamy niedzielę, 21 lipiec 2019 rok i tematem jest kontynuacja tłumaczenia warsztatu z języka angielskiego na język polski. Jest to 284 warsztat poszukiwaczy wiedzy i mamy czas od godziny 22 minut do 2 godzin 30 minut. Tak więc zapraszam serdecznie do wysłuchania i obejrzenia. A na koniec podzielimy się swoim zrozumieniem. Może ktoś coś doda od siebie, tak więc jeszcze raz zapraszam.
Is to unravel the last two sentences. Any questions? We have no answer to the ones who want to know how to make the cans of the soul. And those who want to know how you can make the cans of the soul of the Creator.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Keshe. Once again, I'll remind the attendees you can put your virtual hand up and we can allow you to speak. And the panelists can either put your hand up or go ahead and speak at this point. Doug has a question in the Q&A, if appropriate. Can Mr. Keshe comment on the difference between low self-esteem and humility, or a slave and a servant?
A servant is what it does to please, maybe expect the expectation of getting something. The slave is when you have to give without your permission. And that is the habit of man. You serve, and with it, don't expect. In the slavery, you are forced to serve with the expectation that you are below the one who has forced you to serve. And we don't see any slavery except in the place of the man, anywhere in the universe. If there was, they would have seen a lot of you on the chain and shackles somewhere in the universe. Man is so feeble and is so below understanding of the level of the universal community, and those who passed, they would have taken the whole mankind, enslaving you all over the universe. We still give birth, we watch our son grow up, become grandparents, and we see our children grow and nourish, and we die, and we have never seen any of them snatched and not brought back. So, there is no slavery in the universe, except on this planet. You serve out of the pleasure of allowing another to be higher than you, and it's the pleasure that I've been there to be part of it. And the sooner we learn this, the sooner man will learn. Any other question? I've taught you a lot today. This is the mystery man has been waiting the whole life of mankind on this planet. But which one of you is wise to understand? That's the wisdom, as I said, it's the maturity of your soul.
Well, Bente mentions in the YouTube earlier, no Father Christmas, like you mentioned earlier, but a lovely story for children and people like me who still love celebrating Christmas, so full of love and joy.
we have to live in a fairy tale, huh? Otherwise there's no fun in reality.
Yes, it's a dilemma in a way. It's a perplexing situation for many people, I think.
Have you ever stood in front of a child and the eureka moment that he realizes 10 years I believed in this thing and it doesn't exist, which way do I'm gonna go? And then he looks at his brother and he says, "You've been fooled, it's not our problem, we've been fooled the same way, but we didn't want you to know we've been fooled." And then he decided, I want to be fooled still a little bit more. I still believe in Father Christmas, you're lying, Papa. I've been there with my children. Because
Yeah.
with it comes a present, huh?
Yeah.
If you believe in Father Christmas, it doesn't matter if you say I don't believe in it, so it doesn't exist. You don't get the present. So I believe in it because I get something for it that I enjoy. It shows the love of my Father to me, what He gives to me. And this is very much the whole history of a man. He likes to be given, and the pleasure of being appreciated, that he exists, that he can receive. This is why we give presents and why we receive presents. But this time I have given you the gift, the presence of the path to the Creator. There is no package with it, and there is no shortage of love.
Lawrence has a comment or a question. Could we consider the salts as intermediaries between the matter ganses and the energy ganses, same in operation as the Holy Spirit connecting the Creator and the soul of each entity?
This is what we explained last week in the teaching. The purpose of the salt. The salts are the connector between the plasma of the energy and the matter state of the plasma. And up to now, we always look at the assets for energy. We never looked at the puller, what it holds it together as energy. And as you see, you get to the point in both of physics that if you have such a strong magnetical, somehow it becomes gravitational to feed. And this is what we have to understand. So in a way, you become so acidic that at the verge of become so acidic, you become alkaline. There is no line of cut. It's the line of what you fit when you reach a strength that is strong or weak enough that it fits something another feels, that it allows you to be part of. This is what, as I said before, a couple of years ago in teaching, we always never understood till we explained that when you look in the world of physics, they always look, so what is the point of the change that fields change from gravitational to magnetical? Till in the books and the teaching we explain is literally, if you look at it, is to the eye of a beholder. If you're looking that way, it's coming to you. But if you're looking that way, it's going away from you. It's gravitational, getting pulled to somewhere. And then, if you go by the same principle, at this point, you're acidic. And then here, you become alkaline. The same terminology, the same principle, but different way of understanding this. Why do you pass a point of the alkalineness that you become acidic, and why you go so low in acidic that you become alkaline? Now you understand. Something very interesting I explained to you. Man, for centuries, found a book to write that he could pass the knowledge in books. With the way we teach the soul that it needs no book that it can get past, but it's passed through the soul of the man to another. There is no need for books as we write in the book of the soul of the man. We attracted you with a few books to get your attention. And now that you become wise, you don't need the book. As you take it, the knowledge is given, and the knowledge you hear will be transferred through your soul to the next generation, as by their time in a space there are no trees to cut to create papers, but the knowledge is passed through the knowledge of the soul of the creator. This is what I said, when we teach for the whole of the universe and not for the man. There's no books and there's no recording. We reach the knowledge through the soul to the dimension of existence. I am the beginning and I am the end. Then you understand a bigger picture. It makes you to understand how feeble man has been in thinking that he is the top of the chain. He can kill more, he can destroy more, so everything has to fear of it. Biggest ships to go under the seas to kill the biggest whales, and we call it for food. And we shoot the little ants, so we collect them, use the same way to eat as another way. Man has been merciless in carrying away what is. And in so many ways, we're getting to the point that we cannot produce, and we come to the point that we need to produce to sustain this vicious circle of stupidity. The new systems which coming up very soon will feed your soul. They look gorgeous, and I can see it. It'll be in public in a very soon to will be set up as what we call a structure of bringing the knowledge to totality of.
Okay, Dan has a question here for you, Mr. Keshe, in the chat. There's two questions. Did you say that you have been sent to, he says, to learn humanity? Where do you have this knowledge and grateful understanding of knowledge? I think he's saying you've been sent here to teach humanity. I think he means where did you, what is the source of your knowledge? Where does it come from?
Come with me and you will know, as my great grandmother used to tell me, stay one night with me and you know how I live.
Well, he goes on to
the level of the soul of the Creator, you will understand. It's not that hard.
He goes on to say, did you say that you came to this planet to enjoy physicality and love? So where did you come from that you did not have that physicality of your soul?
Oh, we have it everywhere, but planet Earth has a different pleasure. It's like you go to the sun in Caribbeans and you go to sun in Spain and then you go to sun in South Africa. It's the same sun. You just want to feel different environment of it. As one said, we come from planet Zeus.
I'm wondering if you have a memory of a previous planet that you came from, or do we come from just the soul space, you could say, and it's those kind of memories get erased from the soul's perspective?
Nothing is erased. We do not teach this way if we haven't been to the other schools and see how the other students have misbehaved. We know how to tame the man. We are well trained. And you cannot train if you haven't gathered the experience of. The planet Zeus is the best disguise. Any other question?
Well, Marinez asks, should we be preoccupied by those who want to create the soul of the man or a woman or even the creator? By that she means those abusing the knowledge for their wills.
They can never abuse it. We give you a toy to play, we already have a control of it till you understand. It's just a toy to keep you busy. We keep man busy with work and factories on earth. We keep the souls busy with something else.
Shirazad Mohammadi has a simple question. Our God has a creator?
You mean God of gods?
Well, I guess maybe does the creator have a creator?
You haven't understood, have you? I made man in the image of myself. Why do I need to have a creator? The other question, or shall we call it a day? Today's teaching that the man has to understand takes you thousands of years to understand. It's the first time we have shown you the path to the Creator. And how you understand it, then you decide to create another soul to see if you can do it. And then you call yourself Creator and God. And then, as we've seen, many people who came here, they learned how to make the magraphs and whatever, and then they became the teacher of Mr. Keshe. They taught everything, and we copied them. Have you seen there's a guy on the internet, puzzles me. Anything anybody does, he says, this is mine, I did it, they copied me. And he shouts forever, everybody, it's all mine. They copied me, I thought of it, I talked about it, it's mine. I think his name is Justin Smith, Justin something. Everything created is his, everything. I go crazy, people writing to me. He claims everything, even without it. It's Justin. I think it's just in the brain that it doesn't just understand it. Whatever you learned belongs to everyone and not just you. And if someone does it, you have to be proud that my knowledge has been shared, not crying this copy. I'm sure many of you will try, but remember, when you try to create the soul and you're trying to create the man, he's three-dimensional, huh? A single pipe and little hole will not do. And then, what is you have to understand, can you handle what you have created? And imagine if what you create is as bad as you or worse than you, will it become a master and you become a slave to it? Creating and being confident of what you created needs a lot of understanding. A lot of a lot of comprehension of the total work of the universe. I don't forget, and I don't forgive. I just pretend I forgive. Any other question?
Hassan mentions in the Q&A, apparently he had a dream where he saw me in a dream where he showed me this. And anyway, he mentions in the 272nd Knowledge Seekers Workshop, you said at the 1 hour, 1 minute, 45-second mark, in so many ways, if I change my breathing, would I change my heartbeat that it tunes to my soul that I can achieve that dimension? Then, Mr. Keshe, you breathe in a special way to me after this sentence, and the sentence goes on, of awareness and become part of the universal community. Or do I chase in the path of killing that I can never achieve that? My question is, are you giving us hints sometimes on how to breathe to be able to free the bird from the cage? Thank you, Hassan from Senegal, now in the Gambia. Love you all.
We love Gambia. It's one of the most beautiful countries on this planet. I had the pleasure of living and working there for some time. In so many ways, do we enslave our souls? Or are we a slave of our soul? Or is there a point of compromise? And do we create that point? Or do we understand the totality? And do we understand the process of the freedom for both? That freedom of one allows the freedom of the other. When we enslave our physicality, or when we enslave our soul to the physicality, is it by choice, or is it to create a condition that we can extend to a higher order, the level of our own understanding, our own existence? If you read that question again and understand what I said, you might find an answer.
Do you want me to, sorry, do you want me to read it again?
Again.
Oh, okay.
Then you understand
Okay, I'll read the whole thing. As parts of it are a little hard to understand, but the question's at the end. So in so many ways, if I changed my breathing, would I change my heartbeat that it tunes to my soul that I can achieve that dimension? Then, Mr. Keshe, you breathe in a special way to me after.
Okay, let's understand what it says. If it's a special breathing, what happened when you breathe in a certain way? You have to go back into the teachings of the past. I'm not a very good drawer, but I try to be very and if you look and understand the totality, shall I make you an Englishman for your blood? Yeah. And this is your brain, gray in color. And this is your passage. And this is here somewhere the most beautiful thing God ever created. The soul of man. And if you go, sorry, this one. And this is what we call your blood circulation. Sorry, that's your skin. That's your blood circulation. You're an Englishman, you've got a blue blood. Then this is your passage of the energy. When you breathe, you do two things. The energy goes to the soul. That's why our nasal cavity and the passage of the nose is here. Direct feeding of the soul of the man. Then this goes in the lung of the man, which feeds in so many ways the containment. If you can breathe in a way that the containment and what is contained balance in the field in between, exactly what I explained to you about Mr. Cohen and calcium. You can create a condition that in balance the soul of the man can expand and extend beyond the boundary of the physicality. Because now you have changed the game. You're not containing anymore. You're equal. And in so many ways, as the soul receives the first energy, becomes more powerful, and the what they call the emotional containment or the blood become lower, you allow the soul to bypass this cage. But still through the breathing has a connection of the dimension of physicality, because it takes, breathing is not air. Breathing is adding from the energy of the universe. You call it air or whatever. But if you can reduce this cage, you'll find out that the soul finds its new passage into the dimension of the universal field flow, any communication with outside or creation of the condition. That's what happens to us in sleep. And that's why we dream, because we reduce, we still hold the seed of the soul, but the soul expands to be and carry on with everything else, the future dimension of the soul of the mother meeting or anybody else, or you go on seed break. Because you wanted to see break, he's there, he serves, everything is there, so I want to see how does he look in soul. Curiosity of man does not end up with the dimension of physicality. The most curious creature in the creation is the creator himself. He always wants to see what happens when I mix that and what happens when it's there. And man is one of those, what I call, what's going to happen when we mix it this way. Now you understand why you breathe, the system you breathe, and how you can. But again, the emotion of the man has to be at the level of the virtuosity, not slavery of the soul of the man. And when I do, what I'm going to gain from it. In what I do, what I'm going to give from it, with it. Then you can bypass and you can allow your soul to extend beyond the boundary of it. How you breathe, when you breathe. Why do you have a gate at your throat? Why there is a passage you can lock it? If you want to go through the passage of elevation of the soul, understand the structure of the physicality of the man. You have in your nasal condition a position that you can close the gate and hold your breath. In that position, you can allow the soul to take what it needs and then release, that the lower strength feed into the dimension of the containment. This is of the highest order, but the lowest order of this matches this. It's not that you breathe, oh, is holding the breath. One of the ways of it is to hold the breath that the soul takes from the air what it needs first. That it gathers the strength from the environment. And then at the same time, as you are depleting the time of the energy of, this reduces and this increases, and the soul of the man takes toward the creation. Many of people go, oh, the secret to it is, but hold, block the passage through the throat, that the air blocks itself and releases all its energy, because the air you breathe is amino acid in a gas state. And this is what I've said many times before. Man never understood why breathe, why the structure is this way. How do you win a war? How do you win a game? How do you play a marathon? you give strength, and you rely on your opponent not to catch up, and not have the strength that he can break away. And in that process, because the two are connected, you can let the soul free, because you fed the soul first with the highest order of its magnitude before it gets diluted in everything and in the lungs and everything. Now you know how to let your soul free if you understand the process. And it's not going you have to understand, I satisfy the need of the soul, but I don't damage the soul of the physicality. And that's where all of you will fail. Now maybe for the first time, that's why you have that possibility to hold. That's what the soul does. He has to create a physicality that I take what I need first, because I have to exist that the physicality can exist. In a way, it doesn't come back on a back passage. It takes as it comes fresh, and what it comes from the universe. And as it's extended and it reduces it, it pulls in from the universe. And if you can create a condition that the energy levels in the blood vessels, the emotional part, the containment changes, as is weak, it opens up. I told you I teach you everything that the man is free. In the new systems that is getting developed, you'll see this more or less is in the trial testing, and it's going to go into the next phase. I do not touch, doesn't matter you have a Parkinson, there's any disease, I do not touch systems that are developed to elevate the soul of the man that is happy with his physicality. If he knows that the physicality has no reason to be, you still die when you go into the system, the dimension of physicality, and he wants to be free. I change the blood vessels around the brain to the system which I've created. Don't forget, I'm the creator. I know all the tricks. And I'm a magician. I know how to go. The guy could raise the dead. I create dead from nothing to raise itself. That dead is the physicality of the man, not the soul of the man. So I can feed the soul to create the whole body to understand knowledge. Pardon?
Sorry, go ahead.
Nothing, carry on.
There was a question from Dan regarding that. Did you say Tuesday that the foundation will release the penultimate health system for feeding with the rest of the systems we're going to do?
Yes, because we have to feed him in space. My God, how many? Some council members are present.
Mr. Keshe, if we get a microphone adjustment, I think just a bit there to increase the volume for us. Thank you.
We moved a little bit too far. Any other question?
Yes, we have Jalal with his hand up here. Go ahead, Jalal.
Good day, Mr. Keshe.
Hi, Jala.
Mr. Keshe, the position of the body of the man in the praying, is there a secret in that? What the past prophets taught?
Prophets never understood that.
They just delivered without understanding?
No, they looked at the physical dimension. None have ever understood the position, never were allowed, not understood, to reveal the work of the soul of the man. You see, if you don't teach, then man has to find himself, and it changes the grain of the man. And the hope was man one day will find out, but those of you who got the path, they created enough mayhem. And they don't talk in front of you, they talk in the back of what. And then if you would have said what they understood, then you know what they would have done to them. They put one on the cross, and they did the other one to the other one. They put 900 bullets through it. The knowledge has to be understood, and then it can be played. Otherwise, there's a lot of what I call power play, and a lot of people do not understand. They don't want to understand because it's easier the way it is.
Mr. Keshe?
Yes.
Good morning, it's Caroline.
Yes, good morning.
If I understand correct, if humanity can figure out with the knowledge you have brought to create the right condition or positioning through the ganses or whatever system they want to use for that balancing. Once we figure out the correct, let's say, positioning, will it not be easier than to rely upon the soul, which already has all the knowledge of the universe, to literally do the transition from the physicality to go over into the soul knowledge? Because it will be very difficult for humanity or for one person or even a group of people to figure out the totality of the understanding. What if we can figure out to balance it sufficient enough that we can link up to the knowledge of the soul.
That is your problem. The
What do
problem
you
is
mean it's
not
my
no, you as a humanity, you consider that they will not understand. Who says?
No, I don't say they won't. I'm saying once they figure out how to balance the physicality, would it then not be easier to link up to the soul? And because if the soul has the, as you said before, it can't forget where it came from because it's part of it. It's just that we have to elevate the physicality to a higher field strength to be able to link up with the soul. But in that process, if we manage to understand, to balance the physicality to that higher field strength, would it then not be easier to link up with the soul and then let the soul to carry us, because it already knows everything. It knows the path. It knows where it goes. If you understand what I mean.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. But what you're missing is that both have been aware of this all the time. They are aware of each other's strength. It's the man through his emotion which has decided to separate. It's the fault of the controller. There is nothing wrong with the engine and there is nothing wrong with the road. It's the driver.
So it's only the emotional state which needs to find the right balance for that problem to solve.
It's not a problem. It's just
exactly.
that you don't want to see it. You see, I hear you in the background and you don't listen to something very interesting. You carry Topoli with you.
Yeah.
And I can hear him.
Yeah.
And it's strange that most of the time how he makes noise at certain points. And he always done. And I always said, the little boy understands more than a man. Because when I chose him, when I picked him up the first time, when he was a few days old, I could feel his soul. I could see the connection. And we always say he's not a dog, he's a human.
That's for sure. He always talks.
Yeah. I actually talked about this same thing in the plasma group a couple of days ago. A friend of mine just is in the process of picking up a dog, and he made the connection with this new dog in his life after his other dog passed away after 13 years recently. And he said that when their eyes connected with this new dog, it brought tears to his eyes, and he knew then that was the dog for him, and that they would have this connection that was unbreakable.
And you cannot do it when we saw Mr. Topoli. We always call him Mr. He's respected. He decides everything before we do. There was a feeling, there is understanding, And we always say we take a dog not for fun. The dog is a commitment for life, and we committed ourselves to it. And Caroline is worse than me sometimes. That you live through the soul. The language is not there. And he understands. Any animal understands. We are an animal ourselves. How do we feel our sons or somebody doesn't like us? They do the same. And we sometimes joke to see if he does, and he really does this. This boy is amazing. If he has a haircut, and we walk in, Caroline says, don't say anything wrong to him. He's going to get upset. And he's got the most worst haircut ever, but we have to say, what a beautiful thing. She says, don't say to him this. And if you say, he goes and he hides. He doesn't like to be say you're ugly, you don't look. This boy is a human, it's a soul understanding. It is worshipped. But we don't look at him as something with four legs. We look at him as one of us. He has a say even where we stay in hotels. People are amazed, this little boy in four legs with such a 4-kilo weight dictates everything because he has a say. We always respected him that way. He even chooses where in the car or wherever we travel, he sits. We can't move him. This is the place I want to be.
We even refuse to go into places where dogs are refused.
It's just doesn't. How do we react to the soul of another person from a space? These are in our space of time. Doesn't matter what we call them. A dog, a cat, a mouse. We don't understand the language, but we understand their soul, and they understand our soul. And if you had a dog, and you understand that for any animal, the loss is mainly the soul you miss, not what I call the behavior, the emotions you went through it, not the physicality of he had 2 legs, 1 leg missing, or it was a brown or black. And strange enough, this little boy makes the right noise all the time in the right time. Right thing, right sentence. Not the second before, not the second after. And it happens all the time, it's not coincidental. So, do we need to change? Or we have forgotten that we still have 2 dimensions in our life. Physical and the soul. As I said from very, very early beginning, people could not understand. The physicality of the man is the leech on the soul of the man. And one cannot live without the other because one leads to creation of the other. But when it comes a point of maturity, when it comes to time of, you lose the shell, you leave the shell. Because It's just being borrowed. You've seen some of these crabs, they get a shell and they hide it and they go somewhere else and they think it's theirs till they move to another shell. That's the story of the body of the man. We created this physicality of the man to protect the shell of the soul of the man, that he can mature to the point in the dimension that he can find his own strength, that he can be, he can show the beauty of the Creator. It's like rehearsal. I don't want to go out till I know all the verses, and I can shine. When I do, I can be perfect. This is the same job as soul of the man. He wants to be a perfect position when he meets, it comes across the light, the rays of the Creator, that he can reflect his beauty, not himself, but of the Creator. Man has got a lot to learn. You see, we cover everything. We talk about manufacturing, we talk about teaching, we talk about the water system, we talk about everything. We talk about soul, we talk about every aspects of the knowledge, because now we all understand everything is connected and we can do all of it. We learn a little bit, we learn something else a little bit, but in general, mankind has learned and he wants to learn everything. And we have two choices. We can do it in one go, or we can give it to a few and they can enslave the others because of the knowledge they have. And now with the internet, there is no recipe hidden. The knowledge is there. It's amazing how much the foundation knowledge, what we have taught, has moved right across this planet. Because it's there. Some hear it through the soul, and somebody hear it through the radio, and somebody hears it through something else. This morning I received a message from one of the Universal Council members. We thought there are very few, but there's a cluster of them that are everywhere. We didn't know, but we know. We watch how things going. We know how the knowledge is transferred by the soul of the man, and just can let it, they hear and they go. This is one of the plans with the Chinese government, that the areas where we build the industrial zones has to be like exhibitions, somewhere people can come and learn. Otherwise, when they come and they see they can practically use it, then you understand it, and it is. And my idea is we open classes in the research centers. Schools come directly from age of 1, they see the gas there. Nobody can say, oh, this doesn't work because it's there, because they've seen a new way. And this is one of the best ways to spread this knowledge so rapidly. Some of us say, oh, they come and they copy. We gave everything, so let them copy more, because then it'll be easier for us to let the soul of the man to come to maturity. It doesn't mean now that we learn everything, we all of us leave the body and just... We still have another dimension. We still have to have existence to be able to do. The the way we see things and the way it's structured, in the next 5 years, 10 years, every man in every city, every country will know everything about the gas production. We still run the factories, we still run the operations, we still do everything because now everybody knows. And as I said in one of the teachings, we don't ask people come to work, they come, we want to work. There's a very big difference coming up. One of the things I see is a shame for humanity is what you hear coming out from the United States. They count what percentage of the black have got jobs compared to the white. It means the nation is not matured. If the color of the skin of the man makes a separation for the intelligence of the maybe it's time to shake this country, really shake, and see what actually comes out with the one that's left.
Well, that's the question of Freed in the live stream. Is 2 parts. First part, how can this unity consciousness be applied to the present world situation? And how can the process to end the illusion of separation be sped up?
Mankind will learn. We are setting up the structure for it, and you'll be amazed how it's shaking shape. It's taking shape because we see it in line of politics, we see it in line of commerce, we see it in line of daily life. We are not promoting everything is equal, every man has to be equal. No, no, no. We're creating condition that you are equal into what you're happy to have the existence of your soul and your physicality in balance. You're happy to be this, you're happy to be that. We see now very rapidly the position with arms. And this is what I was explaining in one of the teachings a couple of days ago. You have to understand how the leaders are fooling the citizens and the nations in what to change to what to do. And we just fall for it because we don't stand still. And when a man stands still, when a man think, then you can see the structure, you can change it. We watch, as you know, politics and diplomacy, world politics and diplomacy, and knowledge and use of knowledge to influence both is part of the work of the foundation. But when I sit and look how the people are fooled, but the leaders we will show that there is a balance. You know, when they say you do something wrong, you have to stand for it. America has done a lot of wrongs, and the time has come to stand for it. You will understand. What I told you 2 or 3 weeks ago, America is shouting to extend the death line because America cannot meet his debts in September, October. It loses its AAA. And you can imagine what that does. All the games have been played. Everything they could play, they have played. Increasing the oil production to 11 million, taxing other countries for your own name, tariffing your own people. They have played everything. They have not managed to raise funds to pay their debts in October, up to today. And it's trillions of it coming up. And we are watching. What are we going to do? Are we going to put them aside, or are we going to say, or are they going to ask, increase the borrowing? Increase the borrowing, but who's there to give you the borrowing? Why did suddenly America decided we take the tariffs off, we talk to China? Because if China doesn't buy the papers in October, there is no money to pay for the money that's being borrowed. It's a clever cover-up. But do we need to learn to kill more? We subsidize them to make more, to sell more to the Saudis, to create more wars, and they blame the Iranians for starting. No, Iran is not buying any arms, as I explained in one of the teachings. You look at the Iranian purchase of arms, very little, nothing. It's all self-born for defense. Look at the Saudis. Why 17 million nation buys hundreds of billions? It's sponsoring terrorism, and they blame the others because they stop this, what they're selling, to sponsor terrorism. People don't see the fact. Why a nation of less than 20 million needs 200 billion of arms? Where are they going? Who our leaders are fooling? They are sponsoring for them to buy with the name of it to use in other places, but they blame the others that are creating 18 points of war. Iran is now creating 18 points of war. Saudis are literally anywhere there is an Islamic point paid by the Jewish state to create these wars because they have to sell arms. Governments are becoming aware of it. Cry of a wolf is finished. If Saudis today decide to stop buying arms, half of the American industry is collapsing. But where are they using it? Where are the stockpile for it? Why don't we see this stockpile somewhere? Where is it going to? They're sponsoring more wars and then blaming others because we're selling them, they're doing it. Then we create more mayhem. This is why we invest heavily in the United States in coming months. To change, to bring a new dimension. Technology can be used, the ways can be used, and through delivery of the technology will raise the soul of the nation. That nation needs that. And then what are we going to do with the rest? Do we need to produce arms when we don't? And then how are we going to do with the people? We talked about this before. So we need to find a way to elevate the soul of the man, that it understands the truth and the balance, and it doesn't get played by the others to be fooled at. Since we announced the establishment of the Keshe Foundation Global, which is coming into operation, it's actually it's completed, it's going to be transition. We get many people want to buy shares. There is no problem, because in a way you buy shares in what you're going to serve. we are valuing it. We know how much we're going to value it. There are people who accepted the valuation we put in. A market value is when people are prepared to pay for it. And a lot of people are prepared for the price we have put on the shares. Because we think peace worth that valuation. And the knowledge we give to create that peace worth that valuation. Not the factories, not the construction. Because that will allow it to bring that peace up. It's worth, peace worth to be valued at. And many people have accepted. They want to pay the value which is quoted, is going to be quoted. And we don't need, we put, this is the price, what people pay. It's not before that they decide how much profit insurance companies are going to make with the Keshe Foundation stock market. Is what we value peace worth, that we are prepared to support it, that factories, industrial zones, research centers are built by it, that it guarantees the peaceful condition and the transition for the soul of the man to develop. How much do you value the elevation of your soul? $1, $100, $50, $2,000. As I said, many of the people who have bought things from the foundation say, can we change that to shares? Of course you can. We share anything you have with the foundation, you can convert it and you can get benefit by it. But give us a time. Let us bring it. Let us do it that we change. We closed, we stopped many of the operations to be able to switch over. And anybody who has anything, so can we change to shares? Of course you can, just let us value it. And you get, if you're looking for financial gain, you got to triple your money. But did you buy those shares to make money, or did you buy those shares to create a condition of peace? We cannot stop anymore the launch of the Keshe Foundation Global in the international. It's gone through. As they say in Flemish, the bullet's gone through the church. But we dictate what we think peace worth. Creating condition that every man can be fed, every soul can be sustained. In the next few years, we work towards the peace, what the others are trying to make arms, and then we see which way it sits. Our biggest problem we have solved is not arms anymore. It's not wars. The wars are finished. Now the next step for us is those who touches the families, touches the soul of the man, breaks up so many things. And our work now is in that direction. One of the biggest menace to humanity before arms, which actually arms get part of it subsidized, is drugs. That's our position. We have finished. We don't think about militaries and wars because it's obsolete. It's already gone. How can we save millions of lives when a child gets addicted, the whole family destroyed? We can't let, if we care for a soul of the man, what are we going to do? We already have that implant. And then after that, there is a next step.
Mamy koniec tłumaczenia. Jeśli ktoś chce, to może zabrać głos. No, mieliśmy o oddychaniu, uwolnieniu duszy. W zasadzie większość z tego wszystkiego powinniśmy sobie sami zadać, bo głównie te każde pytania, które tu były stawiane, to w zasadzie może każdy indywidualnie sobie odpowiedzieć na nie. Dobrze, może na dzisiaj w takim razie skończymy. Tak więc to były 277 warsztaty poszukiwaczy wiedzy w języku polskim z dnia niedzieli 21 lipca 2019 roku. Tak więc dziękuję. Zapraszam do obejrzenia jeszcze raz tego samego i zastanowienia się nad tymi odpowiedziami. I myślę, że wszystko jest na dobrej drodze. Tak więc dziękuję za dzisiaj i dobrej nocy. Nadszedł czas zmiany, przejścia do prawdziwego działania wszechświata. I nadszedł czas, aby zrozumieć, że używamy stanu materii, by osiągnąć poziom zrozumienia duszy człowieka. Teraz rozumiesz, być może, dlaczego Kreator wysłał swoich posłańców w imię tego, co miałeś. To oni przynoszą uszy, aby można było ich użyć, gdy nadejdzie czas Mesjasza. Mogę nauczyć duszę i przesłanie. Nie by się przeciwstawiać, ale poprzez ich zrozumienie przez tych, którzy stali się Mesjaszami, aby dawać ze swoich dusz, aby ich elewować. Zadanie stało się łatwe. Szkoła jest tutaj i uczniowie są tutaj w oddaniu. Wtedy nie będzie żadnej walki między tym, co nazywają muzułmanami a chrześcijanami. Baranek i lew będą jeść i spać w tym samym gnieździe. Chrześcijanie i muzułmanie będą spać i modlić się w meczecie, w tym samym kościele, w imię ich dusz, nie w imię religii, które są używane do tworzenia tak wielu konfliktów, dla korzyści tych, którzy byli hiperaktywnymi dziećmi. Nadszedł czas, czas zmian jest tutaj. I jak powiedziałem, moje życzenie jest moim rozkazem. Jeśli pragniesz ujrzeć pokój, Droga pokoju jest wyłożona bardzo wyraźnie. To dusza świadomości zbiorowej. Poprzez dawanie stworzy tą pozycję zmiany. Nic innego. W duszy człowieka nie ma długopisu. Jestem pewien, że po wejściu do społeczności uniwersalnej nigdy nie zobaczysz niczego zapisanego, ale równowagę pól duszy egzystencji. Staraj się być na tyle pokornym, aby nie stać się aroganckim w mocy, którą zrozumiałeś i posiadłeś. Inaczej wpadniesz w tą samą ścieżkę kościoła i meczetu. To jest to, co obiecaliśmy i to właśnie dostarczyliśmy. Musimy zrozumieć działanie duszy i musimy zrozumieć, że dusza człowieka jest gwiazdą w kosmosie wszechświata. Jeśli porównamy duszę człowieka i tak wielu nas, 7 miliardów w jednym zbiorze, Ziemia jest jak galaktyka z tak wieloma gwiazdami. Kiedy patrzymy w głąb wszechświata, widzimy galaktyki z setkami milionów gwiazd. Podobnie jest z planetą Ziemią. Niesie 7 miliardów pięknych gwiazd, które są duszą człowieka. Niesie z sobą duszę tak wielu trylionów zwierząt, roślin i wszystkiego innego. Jeśli więc patrzą ci, którzy nie widzą fizyczności Ziemi i jej zawartości, co widzą? Widzą galaktykę z wielką ilością pięknych, świecących świateł. Każda według swojej siły. Każda zgodnie ze swoją pozycją. Niemowlę ma piękną duszę, podobnie jak staruszek. Dla tych niefizycznych, którzy nie widzą fizycznego wymiaru tej planety, ale widzą siłę pola, jesteśmy gromadami gwiazd. Ludzka rasa, każda pojedyncza dusza, nikt z daleka nie widzi. To jest dusza rybaka, to jest dusza kosmologa, to jest dusza prezydenta. Wszystkie świecą bez względu na fizyczność. To jest magia. Oto, co nowa nauka musi przynieść człowiekowi. Kiedy patrzymy przez naszą duszę, widzimy tylko gwiazdy w innych duszach. I to jest przełom. To jest zrozumienie. Na tym właśnie polegają te wszystkie nauki. Dojście do dojrzałości następnego poziomu, aby zrozumieć daleki kosmos. Wszechświat jest ostrygą dla tych dusz, które służą. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy do wejścia w kosmos. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy, aby stać się częścią uniwersalnej społeczności, która została obiecana. Nigdy nie obiecywałem wam nieba. Zawsze obiecywałem wam elewację człowieka, aby przyłączył się do rodziny. A teraz macie klucz. To wy musicie otworzyć drzwi, aby zrozumieć, że mogę elewować duszę tych ludzi lub milionów innych dusz, że fizyczne życie na tej planecie zmieni się. Wtedy jestem godny bycia częścią społeczności uniwersalnej, by być, aby służyć, aby się rozwijać, by być tam, aby być częścią, że w cyklu życia wszechświata staje się w byciu częścią, staje się częścią totalności. Kiedy człowiek osiągnie ten punkt, pojawi się nowy wymiar w sile duszy człowieka, który jest poza wyobrażeniem zrozumienia życia fizycznego. To jest brama do otwarcia nowego życia w nowym wymiarze, co jest poza wyobrażeniem tego, co mogliście nazwać nowym początkiem, nowym cyklem, gdzie ten cykl niesie ze sobą źródło stworzenia życia we wszechświecie i unikosie. To jest elewacja duszy, aby służyć. Stała się kluczem. Nie tron życia fizycznego. Czas jest odpowiedni. Nadszedł czas, aby człowiek przeszedł przez ten proces.